Cbssports presents NASCAR. Today, live from the Daytona International Speedway, it is the 1960 Daytona 500. I'm Matthew Merlino from Daytona. Today, CBS Sports is proud to bring you the second running of this annual dazzling event. The Daytona 500 was run last year to a lot of fanfare for the people of the South who are known to become fans of NASCAR. And this year, the 12th season of NASCAR's premier Grand National Division begins with this event. It's the biggest season in NASCAR Grand National history, spanning 15 events, all mostly here in the southern United States. So, 42 drivers will take to this behemoth of a track 2.5 miles with 31-degree bank turns at either end of it, and they will fight for 50 laps to decide the first winner of the 1960s decade in NASCAR. We'll see you for the command and the starting grid, and then the race.
Drivers, start your engines!
And so with that, we are ready to commence the 1960 NASCAR Grand National season. Starting on the pole. In this race, you're looking at his car right now, the number 85, Emmanuel Zervakis, who, I'm guessing, you saw win his first qualifying race, the first qualifying race for this Daytona 500 in our last CBS Sports Spectacular here on Thursday. He won the first qualifying race. The winner of the second qualifying race, Bob Potter, in that yellow 29, starts alongside him. Speedy Thompson starts in third, with Rex White in fourth, Fred Lorenzen in fifth, and in the 32 and starting sixth is George Green, with Red Farmer, Jim Reed, Joe Weatherly, and Bobby Johns rounding out the top 10. We're ready to begin the Daytona 500. The green flag is out, and we are racing in Daytona. As you can see, 50 laps is the scheduled distance here at Daytona. They will go to that distance, no more than that. That is 500 miles around this facility. Last year, this race was won by Joe Weatherly, who is driving that green number 12 car that you can see behind. But right now, it is Emmanuel Zervakis in the red number 85 who has the lead in this race. And coming off turn number 4, it is going to be Emmanuel Zervakis, who will have a gargantuan lead over the rest of the field and will lead lap number 1 of a new NASCAR season. You're looking at Fred Lorenzen now, who is trying to catch up to the 85. We'll have to see if he can. Now you're looking at the 94 of Speedy Thompson, who is fighting the 88 of Red Farmer for third position. So we go up front. Lorenzen has not yet catch the 85 car, but it looks like he might get there close. These are new cars for the NASCAR Grand National Division, the first time in its history that they have had new cars. They replace the cars used for 11 years since the beginning, when the Grand National Division was called the Strictly Stock Division in 1949. And Lorenzen on the inside. This is the battle for the lead you are watching here. The inside lane, as we saw in the first qualifying race, seems to be the preferred lane, although the outside lane might also have a little bit of help in it. Into turn number 3, they are still side by side. And over the course of NASCAR Grand National history, we have seen just 3 repeat champions. Lee Petty, who won in 1958 and 1959, the current champion, has won back-to-back championships. He is driving in this race. Buck Baker, who won 3 times, last one in 1957, also won in 1954 and in 1950, and Herb Thomas, who unfortunately had to retire due to injuries sustained in a crash in 1956. Won 3 times in a row in 1951, 52, and 53. Back on the track, it looks like Lorenzen might finally clear the 85, and he does, but here comes Zervakis to the inside. He will get there, but the pack has caught up once again, and now it is time to race for real. Behind the 85 is the outside pole sitter Bob Potter. Zervakis, if you remember, started on the inside pole and in the pole position. And here comes the 29. That is Bob Potter again on the inside with help from the 4, Rex White. And coming off turn number 4, it is going to be Bob Potter, it looks like. Rex White might make a move here in the tri-oval. He does not yet, as the 29 covers down low. But down into turn 1. Here comes White to the inside. And behind him is the 66. That is Dick Foley. And that gray car, I cannot see the number just yet. Looks like the 34 of G.C. Spencer. And so Rex White will lead this lap. Spencer behind him in that 34. Through turns 1 and 2. And down the back straightaway, it is still Rex White, the leader. But the 29 has not given up. Bob Potter is still on his outside. After 7 laps, it is still the number 4, Rex White, in the lead. And they run 3 wide behind him. That's the number 1 Brownie King on the inside in that red number 1 car. And 3 wide again, the 8 of Dick Dixon on the inside. And now as they come off of turn number 4, it is still Rex White, but they are very close to wrecking. As the 41, that blue number 41 of Gene White now tries to take up second. And he has Richard Petty helping him behind him as a teammate of sorts. The son of Lee Petty, the current and 2-time Grand National champion. And it looks like White might end up going for a move on the other White. That's Rex White. But Gene White in the 41 might make a move as they come up on a lap car here, and the 4 slams into the back of the lap car. That looks like the number 87 of Buck Baker. And yes, it is Buck Baker, the 3-time Grand National champion who might have just destroyed the number 4 Rex White's hopes at a victory here in the Daytona 500. Gene White has taken the lead, followed by Richard Petty in the number 43. Then in the number 6, Cotton Owens, the 39. That is Herb Tillman. And to his inside for the 4th position is Whitey Gherkin. And behind them, the number 27 of Junior Johnson. But so, here we are up front as Richard Petty tries to make a move on the number 41, Gene White. Completing lap number 10, it is still Gene White the leader. Here comes Cotton Owens in that number 6. Watch out, he looks very, very fast. But here is Petty, Richard Petty, to the inside. And there's the 39 of Herb Tillman. And there's the 63. Yes, that is the 63. That is Whitey Gherkin. And Gherkin goes to the inside, and it looks like he goes to the lead with help from Junior Johnson in the number 27. And Gherkin has the lead. Junior Johnson has second, or maybe he does not, as Red Farmer in the 88 goes to the inside. It's the 63, Whitey Gherkin, out front. We're coming up just about 10 laps away from the halfway point of this race. Look at this, the 88 Red Farmer with a chance at taking the lead. And who's that? The 22. That is Fireball Roberts. Yes, it is. And Roberts to the inside of Red Farmer with help from the 3, Bobby Johns. Two separate races happening at once, basically. This race that you're watching right now is the race for the win. Behind them, you can see the Monsters pack that looks to be deciding the best of the rest. But the number 63, Whitey Gherkin, has the lead. They come to the line next time. It'll be 10 laps to halfway. And Rex White to the inside. He's going to take the lead from Whitey Gherkin. Joe Lee Johnson in the number 77 behind with the 41, Gene White. And how about this? Rex White came back after being hit by a lapped car, the lapped car of Buck Baker. Rex White could not avoid him. Had some damage to the front bumper, now has come back to take the lead. We're 10 laps away from the halfway point of this race. Off turn number 4, it is Rex White. He has the lead. And so, crossing the line after 17 laps, it is Rex White with the lead. 3 wide for the second position behind him. On the inside, it's Bobby Johns in the 3, and it looks like he'll get that position with help from Richard Petty behind. Here comes Bobby Johns for the lead. And it looks like he might get it, although the 4 might have a shot to bounce back on the outside with help from the 41. Lap number 19 of 50. 1/100th of a second separating Bobby Johns and Rex White at the end of the last lap. Now, Richard Petty, they can run 3 wide here, so I'm interested to see when that blue number 43 of Richard Petty will make a move. Lap number 20 now. Bobby Johns in the 3. Sole possession of the lead. The 43, Richard Petty, trying to get the lead. Johns to the inside of a lapped car. It's the number 19, Herman Beam. The 3 and the 43 out front at Daytona. The 15 of Johnny Sutter just behind with Cotton Owens, and it looks like Fireball Roberts rounding out the top 10. The top 5. Here they go into turn number 1. And look at this, a move for second position. Sutterth on the inside of Richard Petty. And we're just about halfway through of the race. You won't miss any of the action, but I'll miss just a little bit. I'm going to take a commercial break. You won't miss anything. after 30 laps at Daytona, this man, the number 4 Rex White, has the lead as he goes down the backstretch. Second place right now, Herb Tillman. They run 3 wide and Rose behind him. Off corner number 4, it's still going to be the number 4, Rex White. Well, look at this, the 4 and the 39, they've kind of gained a pretty sizable gap over the rest of the pack, led by Fireball Roberts, but now that they're getting single filed out, they're starting to catch up. And so, heading into turn number 1, it's still Rex White in the lead. Fireball Roberts making a move for second on the 39, Herb Tillman. Cotton Owens and Richard Petty battling for the 4th position behind them. And here's Petty surging up as Roberts moves into a clear second position behind Rex White. Into turn number 1, and Petty goes to the inside of Fireball Roberts. This is for second position behind the man you're watching right now, the leader, Rex White. And coming to lap number 36, the beginning of lap number 36, it is Rex White over Richard Petty, Joe Lee Johnson, the 63, that is Whitey Gherkin, and the 3 of Bobby Johns. Junior Johnson in that red number 27 up to 6. Here's Gherkin to the inside of Johnson for 3rd. Petty to the back bumper of White for 1st. And Johnson up into 3rd position, sole possession of 3rd position. So they come off turn number 4, down into the tri-oval. Johnson coming to the inside of Richard Petty. He's going to challenge him for 2nd position. And time winding down. 10 laps to go. Coming up soon. Actually 14 to go at this moment in time. 13 and a half if you want to be specific. Here's Gherkin to the inside of Joe Lee Johnson for 2nd position. And Gherkin is going for the lead, and he might get it here. They're going to run 3 wide behind him. And it looks like we might see pit stops soon. One pit stop is needed to get to the end of this race. Down the back stretch, Whitey Gherkin. Here's Cotton Owens to the inside. Cotton Owens on the inside line. So who's going to come to pit road this time? Owens, Petty, Fireball Roberts, the 41, Gene White, and it looks like the 15, Johnny Sutterth in the back, all come to pit road. Up front, it's single file. Again, Whitey Gherkin with the lead over Rex White, Joe Lee Johnson, Junior Johnson, and I believe the number 3, Bobby Johns in the back. Yes, that is. Let's see if all of these guys come to pit road, and let's see who will be the first man out. Johnson, it looks like White might either be out of fuel or he might have a tire going down. Or he's slowing to come to pit road. But all of these guys coming to pit road, Rex White might need to have some repairs done. Or at least stay a little bit longer. So we'll cycle to the first one, to the one in the stall closest to the front of pit lane, and we'll tell you who out of these 5 comes out first. You're watching now the number 4 of Rex White. Actually, we'll go to the pace car to see which one of our top 5 comes out the earliest. And it looks like it's going to be, oh, that's close, but it looks like it's going to be Junior Johnson, but I don't think he's part of the top 10. He is front of the 77, Joe Lee Johnson, so I think our new leader is Junior Johnson. If not, it's Joe Lee Johnson, and if not him, Whitey Gherkin is still our leader. But we're going to stick with Junior Johnson, and we'll wait for the scoring pylon up top on the top left to develop on lap number 41. And that will signify 10 laps are left in this race. So time is certainly winding down. Here we go. Is Junior Johnson in the lead? Yes, he is, according to timing and scoring. So you are looking at your leader, Junior Johnson, in the number 27. That red car behind him in second, Joe Lee Johnson, in that white number 77. Let's see, we might have a 3-way battle for the win here, if not more. And there are 10 laps to go. Here is Richard Petty. He's got about a 10-mile-an-hour advantage on all of these guys, and he has taken the lead. A dramatic turn of events here at Daytona. Coming to 9 laps to go. Richard Petty is now the leader. Can any of these guys catch him? It looks like Johnson. It looks like both Johnsons might have a problem. Junior is getting passed by Whitey Gherkin. Joe Lee Johnson has fell like a rock. But Richard Petty out in front. Whitey Gherkin in the magenta or very dark red number 63 is in second. Rex White in third, trying to challenge for second. And here's Gherkin trying to challenge for the lead. Dramatic turn of events at the end of the Daytona 500. And it's not over yet. It is far from over. 8 laps to go, coming to the line. 8 laps to go once they cross the line. As Junior Johnson trying to redeem himself, he's fighting Rex White in that 4 car for second position. Whitey Gherkin is out front. Johnson and White side by side for second. Fourth is the number 22, the gold and black of Fireball Roberts, and the 43, Richard Petty, in that blue number 43 car is in fifth position. That is Richard Petty, but Junior Johnson is dropping back. That allows Rex White and Whitey Gherkin to get up into first and second. They have sole possession of those positions respectively. And now it's Junior Johnson, Richard Petty, and Fireball Roberts in a three-way battle for third. White is going for the lead. Rex White on Whitey Gherkin. Now just 7 laps to go. Time winding down for any of these guys to make a move. It's going to be a 5-horse race, it looks like. Rex White is your new leader. Junior Johnson in that red 27 is in second position. Here's Richard Petty going for second, with help from Fireball Roberts on the inside. Rex White out in front. Richard Petty coming on into second position. He clears the 27. Richard Petty sole possession of second. 6 laps to go. In 6 laps here at Daytona, the 2.5-mile super speedway built last year by Bill France. 15 miles still to go, but that is time winding down. Here is Richard Petty, another lapped car. Dick Dixon in the 8, gonna hold up the 4 of Rex White. He's gonna fall all the way back. It looks like we might have eliminated one of the contenders. Petty is out in front now, coming to 5 laps to go. Roberts, Gherkin, and Johnson all bumper to bumper behind him. They navigate past that other lapped car that looked like the 36 of Tommy Irwin. And now just 5 laps to go in the Daytona 500, the second running, the first one by Joe Weatherly. And we haven't seen Weatherly today except for that first lap where we pointed him out. Here's Whitey Gherkin to the inside. And Gherkin going for the lead. They'll come to 4 laps to go. Junior Johnson going for second. It looks like he might get it. Daytona racing, it's all about being in the right place at the right time. Petty might have made contact with that lapped car. That was the 11 of Ned Jarrett. But here they are going into turn 1. Just 4 laps to go. The top 4 separated at the line by less than 0.3 of a second. And here's Petty. Everybody getting held up by a lapped car. They're all going to dive to the inside, it looks like. And they'll pass these 2 lapped cars. Oh, wait, no. 32, George Green. He almost moved down in front of Petty. That would have taken him out of contention. And it might have slowed him down enough that it might now just be a 3-horse race with 3 laps to go. Whitey Gherkin, Junior Johnson, and Fireball Roberts, all with a chance at history winning in Daytona. Let's see if Johnson makes a move. For both Junior and Whitey Gherkin, it would be their first career win. For Fireball, it would be his second career win. Can any of them hang on? 2 laps, 5 miles left. Gherkin out in front. Roberts and Junior Johnson are side by side for second. They're going to get slowed down. Gherkin has a huge lead, but 2 lapped cars coming up. Gherkin goes high. Roberts goes low. Roberts is going to be held up. That's the number 2, Dave Hirschfield. It's a 2-horse race now between the 2 winless drivers, Whitey Gherkin and Junior Johnson. They'll battle with 1.5 laps left at Daytona to see who can get the win in the Daytona 500, who can get their first career win on actually the biggest stage in NASCAR. Literally the biggest stage in NASCAR. White flag, final lap, and 2.5 miles to decide the winner of the 1960 Daytona 500, the inaugural race of the 1960 Grand National season and the 1960 NASCAR decade. Out of turn number 2, half a lap to go. Whitey Gherkin out front, Junior Johnson in second. They go into turn number 3. It is Whitey Gherkin. So far throughout the entire lap is Junior Johnson waiting to make a move. He cannot do it off turn number 4. Whitey Gherkin in the number 63 scores the win in the Daytona 500. And Gherkin has done it. Whitey Gherkin, the winner of the Daytona 500 over Junior Johnson, Richard Petty, Fireball Roberts, and the number 4, Rex White, finishing 5th. We'll give you the full top 10 in our race recap coming up next. Congratulations to the number 63. The number 63 team and its driver, Whitey Gherkin, on winning the Daytona 500 of 1960. We'll get you your race recap, and then we'll say goodbye from Daytona. So after 50 laps and 500 miles at Daytona, Whitey Gherkin stands on top with an average speed of 188.721 miles an hour. Junior Johnson finishes second, just 12 hundredths back of winning at Daytona. Richard Petty in the 43 finishes third. Fireball Roberts in the 22 finishes fourth. Rex White rounds out the top 5. G.C. Spencer with a good day in 6th position. Cotton Owens in 7th, with Fred Lorenzen in 8th. Lee Petty, the 2-time and defending Grand National champion, finishes 9th. And in 10th, the number 29, the outside pole sitter, Bob Potter. Speedy Thompson in the 94 unfortunately lost 37 positions en route to a 40th place finish. But from Daytona, congrats to the 63 team and Whitey Gherkin on an incredible win and an incredible race to start off the decade and the season in NASCAR Grand National competition. Once again, this is Matthew Merlino. Thank you all so much for watching here on CBS. Stay tuned for your late local news, followed by the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite, except on the West Coast, and good night.